You'll feel my blade soon, matey. And if not my blade, then you'll be walking the plank. Hey, no, I'm not really a pirate. I'm Mickey Thompson, and I'm a member of the Springboro Area Historic Society. And tonight, I am not alone when it comes to costumes. Wait till you see the fantastic people who have turned out for the annual Haunted Hot Dog Roast. I'm not sure whether it's the hot dogs that are haunted or the people that eat the hot dogs. I'm still working on that. But let's take a look around at some of the fantastic costumes and friends who have joined us today at the Springboro Museum. Let's go. Look who I found, Don Ross, who's been leading the Springboro Area Historic Society, been an important member of the society since 1816. I may be wrong about that. Don, tell us what you're doing tonight.
What I'm doing is counting a lot of heads. I think this is the biggest crowd by far that we've ever had for this event, and that's a good thing. There are attendant problems like we've had to delay a couple important parts like the tours, and the other thing is we're grilling hot dogs as fast as we can, and we still have a line. But things are happening, and it's going to be a successful event. Great weather, great volunteers for the event. We've had probably close to 50 people that have volunteered for it.
Super, and what are you doing next? It's an important part.
We are doing the ghost tours in about 2 minutes.
So hopefully there'll be some ghosts this year.
Yeah. I predict there will be.
Thanks, Don. I found another volunteer, Christine Wellman, who's been working very hard to make sure this Haunted Hot Dog Roast is a success. Christine, how's it going?
I think it's going spectacular. Obviously, the crowds are bigger than what we had hoped, but the weather so cooperated. And I think that we're going to have the most haunted tours ever. So they're about to start in a few minutes, and hopefully they will go as well as everything else has.
Well, we're hoping that the ghosts know where to go tonight, because it would be inconvenient for us not to find them. But I think we'll be able to do that.
Yes, absolutely. It's a pleasure to do this, and we're looking forward to at least 28 more years of the same.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Well, the Haunted Hot Dog Roast is turning out very, very well, thanks in no small part to these two mugs, who are the Hot Dog Roasters. Now, I will admit that one or twice they weren't wearing gloves, but we'll ignore that and show him your tongs there. Show him your tongue. There you are. Well, tell me, on my left is Don Wright. Don, talk about a little bit about the Haunted Hot Dog Roast.
Oh, great. This year we've overdone it, I think. How many hot dogs? 1,000? Over 700, close to 1,000. And it's just been beautiful weather. I don't know who called the weather, but you did? Okay. But, oh my God, what a great turnout. The whole street was filled with gremlins and all kinds of cool people. So,
well, let me catch Vince here. Vince, almost nothing that you said we heard.
No, I've had a couple of bouts of singeing my eyebrows, but hey, I survived it. So did Don. And then this is our main guy right here. So here you go, baby.
I owe you $5 for saying I'm your main guy. Well, anyway, the Haunted Hot Dog Roast is going very well. It's a much bigger event than it was last year. And again, thanks in no small part to volunteers like Don and Vince. Thank you so much.
98 others.
And 98 others, that's correct. Thanks. Look what I found. One more volunteer who's helping to make the Haunted Hot Dog Roast such a success. And this is?
Sandra Pettit.
And Sandra, exactly what was your function here tonight?
I was the chair for all the volunteers, so I had the fantastic job of reaching out to all these beautiful faces and getting people to commit to come out here and make this a great event.
Well, I have to ask this question. How many volunteers does it take to put on a Haunted Hot Dog Roast?
We probably have about 55 to 60 volunteers here with the tour guides and the spirits and all the people of all ages that are here tonight.
Well, I know this was a very big job. What about next year?
What about next year?
Well, we need a volunteer to head up the volunteer committee. Will that be you?
I might think about it.
All right. Well, thanks so much for helping make this such a success. Thanks. There are a lot of folks here at the Haunted Hot Dog Roast who are fully committed to putting on a great show, and I found an entire family that's in the spirit. So let me just see what's going on. And you are?
I'm Larry.
Tally.
And the kids?
This is Isaiah, Sam, and Ab.
And there's nobody left at home that's not in costume.
That's right.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you've found here at the Haunted Hot Dog Roast.
Well, we started out the night with the trick-or-treating down historic Main Street, which was a lot of fun. The kids really enjoyed it. And we're standing in line right now to see an owl, which I think is pretty interesting.
Well, I hate to tell you, but I think this is also the line for tours, so you may be heading back out into Springboro. And were you prepared for this?
Yes, we were. We were very excited. Even brought the dog with us, dressed as well. Looking forward to it.
See, I thought this was a cat dressed as a dog. So they had me at the beginning, right? Well, thank you so much for coming out, and I hope you'll join us next year.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We found a lot of interesting people here at the Haunted Hot Dog Roast, both those in costume and those not in costume. And among those not in costume, pretty much, was the mayor of Springboro, John Eggenbrode.
Oh, came out with a hot dog? Hey,
Talk about the event, sir.
Oh, well, I think it's a great thing for the Historical Society. It come a long way, and look at this crowd. Is this unbelievable? We really, whoever mapped it out this year did a great job, because this is really conducive to having people come out. So I really compliment all the committee. I compliment the public for supporting the Historical Society. And if you want to know something about Springboro, this is the place to come.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Now, how many hot dogs did you actually hand out?
Only once. Oh, how many we hand out so far? Oh God, we're well over 500. We're maybe 1,000 probably.
All right. Did any of those end up inside you?
I got one so far. I'm working on number 2. Maybe this will do it. Number 2.
Well, obviously, we couldn't do this without volunteers, and certainly it's a pleasure to us always to have our mayor volunteering to help us out. Thank you so much, Mayor.
My pleasure. If what mayors do.
Thank you. I thought it was important, as part of the Haunted Hot Dog Roast record, to introduce you to a family that's been through the line 7 times. They account for more hot dogs per family than anybody else here. I'm going to ask them just to introduce themselves in between bites. And you are?
Tasha. Kelsey. Ashley.
So what do you think of the Haunted Hot Dog? I was kidding about 7 times. What do you think about the Haunted Hot Dog Roast?
They're great.
Yummy.
Perfect.
Well, we couldn't keep doing this without loyal fans like this. And I'm going to let them go ahead and finish their hot dogs. This is their first time through the line, but we're watching them. Thank you. Every organization needs a spark plug, and that's true of the Haunted Hot Dog Roast. There's a lot of volunteers and a lot can be done, but you need at least one person who's cracking the whip. This is the lady who was cracking the whip this year for the Haunted Hot Dog Roast, and I'm talking about
Chris Britton.
And Chris was in charge of the people who were in charge, just to give you an idea. Chris, give us some idea of how this year's event's been going.
So, first of all, I'm not in charge. That's actually Don Ross. I'm just louder. And it's been going great. We've had more people than we expected to have, which is really exciting. We ran out of ketchup, which is devastating, obviously. But we're having a really good night.
Super, thank you. And next year, bigger and better, you think?
Bigger and better every year, for sure. Bigger and better.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. It's about 7:30 at the 2018 Haunted Hot Dog Roast here in Springboro. And we have a catastrophe. We've run out of ketchup for the Haunted Hot Dog Roast. It's a major catastrophe. Fortunately, I found a bottle of hot sauce. What's your name?
Kira Schmal.
And how did you manage to pick this costume?
We were at, I think, Walmart, and I saw it on the shelf, and it was probably my favorite because I really like spicy food, and so I figured it would be a perfect costume.
So you're actually a fan of hot sauce, and that's what prompted you to get the costume?
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, a lot of folks were wishing that you'd come as a bottle of ketchup and stood over there next to the mustard.
Yeah.
Will you be planning to come back next year, you think?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. You know, most people will have no idea what it's like to prepare hot dogs for over 700 people and to have them line up and wait for you to put the hot dog in the bun and the bun on the plate. The lady I'm standing next to,
Barbara Gibson.
Barbara, just did that, and I'm told that she's thinking of resigning her position here in the society. What was that like, Barb?
It was amazing. Everybody was so kind. They had to be patient in order to put up with us trying to get the dogs out to them, but they had smiles on their faces coming and going.
Now, I'm going to ask a little personal question, but how many hot dogs did you have, Burl?
I had one before the whole festivity started, and that's it.
One is her claim. We'll get back to you on that. Barb, thank you so much for being one of the volunteers that makes this such a success.
Thank you, Mike. You too.
It comes an incredible shock to me, a Star Wars fan, that I found Luke Moonwalker. Skywalker. Sky Moonwalker. Moon Sky. Let me let him tell you.
Hi, I'm Mick Momini, and I'm dressed as Luke Skywalker, and I am here to visit the Springboro event from a land far away.
Well said. Is Dayton is what you're thinking?
Yeah, I did come down from Dayton. We made the trek, and it was amazing. We got a chance to experience the candy. Both of my sons dressed up and were pointing out other awesome costumes. And we had got a chance to eat hot dogs and roast marshmallows, and this event is amazing.
Well, thank you so much. Now, is this your first time at the Haunted Hot Dog Roast?
Actually, it is our first time. Today's actually my birthday. So, I know, ironic. And my wife said, we're going to go down and we're going to eat hot dogs and get candy. And I thought, what a more amazing way to celebrate my birthday.
And you can't get any cheaper than that either. Now, let me just say that if my wife is listening, hot dogs on my birthday, I need something more. I just need something more. So I appreciate very much you coming out and supporting our event.
You are very welcome, and we'll be back next year.
Super, as will I.
Thanks.
Many of you will think that this is an owl behind me, but I saw Harry Potter, and I know that this is no normal owl. Here's his friend that's with him tonight, and you are?
I'm Tom Sprout, and I'm in charge of an organization called BIOS, B-I-O-S-E. We do education programs for schools and other civic organizations.
So this owl is really an owl?
He is really an owl. He's actually an educator and an ambassador for all the other wild owls out there that we want people to learn about and appreciate.
Now, I assume that since we have an owl with us this evening, the owl has been injured in some way and is no longer able to hunt on its own?
Exactly. All owls, hawks, and eagles are protected because they're so important to our ecosystem. The federal government doesn't want them being taken as pets. This young boy was actually hit by a car when he was 6 weeks old. He's been working with me as an educator and an ambassador for over 15 years.
Wow. Now, does the owl have a name?
The owl actually does have a name. That's a yes or no question. If you want to know his name is Kentucky the Owl. And one of the really neat things is if you Google Kentucky the Owl, #1 link on Google for Kentucky the Owl is his Facebook page.
I haven't been able to master technology. The bird has his own Facebook page. It's fabulous. Thank you so much for contributing tonight.
Thank you very much for coming out to the Haunted Hot Dog Roast.
Thanks. I realized tonight a lifelong dream. I've met Captain Underpants.
Tra-la-la!
And let me say that he's a little taller than I imagined. You are?
Steve.
And
Emma.
Benjamin.
Say Liam.
Yeah.
Now, I've got to tell you that Captain Underpants is certainly a inspired costume.
Unique, yeah. Some may say.
With underwear.
Is this is where I get in trouble. Is this the first and only time you've worn this costume?
This is the first.
You left out the only. Well, let me ask the young lady.
The only.
And you are dressed as?
Wedgie woman.
Wedgie woman. That I didn't know was part of the Captain Underpants fantasy. And this young man,
George Beer.
and you are?
Say Harold Hutchins.
It's Hudson.
Well, it's certainly a unique and fabulous individual, family. And have you enjoyed your time here?
Yeah, it's been a blast. We got some food and saw some friends. It was wonderful.
Yeah, we come every year. It's always fun.
So I take it you'll be back next year?
Of course.
Now, will you be Underpants and Wedgie, you think?
We always have unique ideas every year. We do the family theme, so.
Okay, well, just to let you know, I have alerted the police that you're heading to your car. Because we sometimes do have those kinds of problems. But if you're institutionalized tonight, please say something nice about the Haunted Hot Dog Roast.
Will do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here with another volunteer for the Haunted Hot Dog Roast, and in the interest of full disclosure, we are married. So she's letting me do the talking for the first time in 20 years, and so I thought I would ask her a few questions. Chris, how was the Haunted Hot Dog Roast tonight?
I thought it was great. I've not been to one before, so this is my first year. I was the photographer, but I ended up stuck in the hot dog line. But we had such a great crowd. It was great to see, so many people out, so many families with their kids enjoying themselves.
So, obviously, at some point, people are going to start talking about doing this again in 2020.
Well, hopefully we'll have more volunteers to help out because I think, again, it was a great, worthwhile effort and people enjoyed themselves. So hopefully somebody will take some interest and help us out next year.
Super. And let me just say that this lady is the best interview I've had all night. Honest.
Thank you.
I don't know how many hot dogs these ladies have had. All I know is that there was something in the hot dogs because they are still full of energy late into the evening. Let me just ask him, what did you think of the Haunted Hot Dog Roast?
Those were good.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about your hot dog?
It was good. I had one hot dog. I'm still full of energy.
Well, how about, is there anybody in the back row that would like to talk about the Haunted Hot Dog Roast, maybe with a few more sentences?
The hot dogs are juicy. Sorry. I just had to say.
Okay, and you?
She had a lot of mustard.
It's like True Confessions or something.
The hot dogs were good.
Great. Good, amazing, superb, all the good adjectives. So let me just ask you one question. Will you be back next year?
Yes.
I think that's a yes. So we've got 6 hot dogs to prepare for next year. Thank you so much, ladies. Arr. Well, my pirate is ready for bed. The numbers aren't in yet, but we're guessing we had about 750 hot dog eaters here at the Haunted Hot Dog Roast. It's late, but we're still giving some tours, and there's still a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of happiness, a lot of costumes. We had some great costumes this year. I'm sorry that you missed it, and I'm hoping that you'll join us in 2020 for the Springboro Area Historical Society Haunted Hot Dog Roast. We'll see you then. Arr!